Hey buddy, I'm Johnny Scoville and this is Chase the Heat. And I've got something very pretty, really pretty sauce. You little reaper. That's what it says, you little reaper. This is a sauce from Australian Extreme Chili Condiments. My really good friend Rob Dunn. We call him Dunny. And you know what? I'm friends with a lot of people, but I really love Rob Dunn. I spent a lot of time with him in Sydney and in a couple different countries. Sydney, I was with him again in New Zealand. Just a great sauce maker and a really good brother of mine. Proud to call that dude friend. He's a good guy. Anyway, he's got a bunch of different sauces, and this is, I think, the last one that I have not reviewed. You Little Reaper. I love the name of that. Anywho, here are the ingredients, people. By the way, the heat, this is his thermometer. He says it's way up there on the heat scale. So that's a pretty fine way to start the morning here. Let me read this to you. Here are the ingredients, people. Carolina Reapers, #1 ingredient. Garlic, salt, pepper, olive oil, tomatoes, red wine, onion, sugar, vinegar, basil, coriander. You know, it's really fun. I've done this long enough that I can kind of read a label, and as I'm reading the ingredients, I start to formulate what I can almost taste it by the end of it. So I'm kind of excited about trying this one. Here are the serving suggestions and what it pairs well. It's supposedly fantastic on pizza. And listening to the ingredients, I'm like, as I was reading, I'm like, well, it's got kind of a thickness to it, so I thought, it's good pizza sauce. It's got a hamburger, steak, sandwich, on top of a juicy steak, chicken or lamb. Great way to eat your meal if the rest of the family doesn't like it hot. It's pretty funny, because they won't eat yours. But you can sit and tell there's seeds and all kinds of happiness. You know, it's garbage day. And man, looks like we're dodging the garbage truck, which is kind of a cool thing. You guys, I'm leaving the day after tomorrow. Oh man, the day after tomorrow I'm leaving for London. Crazy long flight. Really a long one. But I'm getting good at those long flights. But I'm going to meet Sheena, the UK chili queen, the coolest chick in the world. I've been talking to her a lot as this thing is leading up, and she's nervous and I'm nervous, but we just have like a boatload of respect for each other, and this is just going to be a really fun contest. Man, I really don't want to lose this. You know, I don't want to beat her either because she's a friend, but man, I want that belt. I want to take it home for the Scoville squad. I really do. I want to do it. We're going to see what happens. I don't know. I was talking to Clint Meyer, and he's like, when we did the New Zealand Chili Championship, they gave me the biggest pod. Every single time they came around, they gave me the biggest pod. And over the course of 19 pods, if you get the biggest pod compared to somebody that got the smallest pods, at the end of 19 rounds, what I've eaten compared to what that person's eaten is a lot different. So if she and I eat the same size pods, we got a chance. She's a beast, though. Man, she's a beast. Anyway. Thank you, Donnie. Excited about this. AustralianChiliCondiments.com is the website. All right, we're going to give this one a heck. It's going to be a hot one. Can't wait. All right, let's give this a shot with aroma. It's exactly what I thought it would smell like. I swear to you, I'm not making it up. I was reading the ingredients. I'm like, when I mentioned earlier, as I'm reading, I'm kind of tasting them. I could smell this before I open it. Oh man, really, really balanced. Every once in a while, I've had sauces from hobbyists and sauces from professional companies where I'm smelling, I'm thinking too much of something or balanced well. Really balanced well. I'm definitely picking up the garlic and the onion, but the Reaper and there's a sweetness to it that I kind of like. I'm also a really big fan of olive oil. I like, balsamic vinegar. There's certain things I like in sauces, and olive oil to me is a great thing in hot sauce. I can think of a half a dozen hot sauces I've had that have olive oil in it, and man, oh man, it just does something to me. All right, great aroma. Pretty cool. All right. Boy, I tell you what, when you just look at all the stuff happening right there in that, seeds and stuff, man, I like that. It's almost like Dunny's listening to me when I talk about what I like. bug is buzzing the tower here. No real change on the spoon. I really like there's a subtle little sweetness to this sauce that is really neat. I'll tell you what I'm thinking after I taste it. If it tastes like what I imagine it's going to, I'm going to tell you what I think it would be really, really good on. But from Rob Dunn, Australian Extreme Chili Condiments. You little reaper. Johnny Scoville, JC. I'm getting better at this. You know something? When I first started this channel, if I read the list of ingredients, I was merely reading the list of ingredients. Now when I'm reading it, I'm sort of formulating what it's going to taste like. This, honestly, this tasted like what I thought it would. Well done, Rob. All right, now that I've tasted it, let me tell you what I get. Wonderful balance of the garlic, the onion, and then, listen, so many sauces have garlic, onion, and Reaper or something, but it's balanced so nicely. The basil, the coriander, it's balanced really, really nicely. Now, I said to you, I'd tell you what I think of the heat's building, but let me tell you what I think this would be just devastating on. Anything Italian. I mean it. This would be good as I use tomato, like hot sauce in place of tomato sauce all the time. I've got two of my favorites. This will be up there. I'm not going to mention other ones because this is a review about You Little Reaper. But this would be great on lasagna, spaghetti as a base for a pizza. Just delicious. It would be good on a sub, like a meatball sub. Oh, man. Flavorful. Let's talk about the heat. If you're somebody who's never, ever, listen, he's a pretty straightforward, straight shooting dude. If you're somebody who's never eaten anything hot, you're in the Scoville family, but you're not one of those guys who chases it, this is going to be way up here. It might even be up here. It would be very, very hot for you. You'd say it would get your attention in a hurry, and you wouldn't be tasting the things I'm tasting because you just have a mouthful of pain. You'd be thinking pain, not flavor. So for a non-chili head, this would be probably a 9. You might even say it's a 10. It's pretty hot. If you're somebody who's chasing the heat with me, we're doing it together, I would say that you would probably find this to be a 6, maybe 7. It's pretty warm. Wickedly flavorful, though. I want to use this on some spaghetti. You know, the basil, just really, really, it's going to be perfect for Italian food. Burns mostly on my tongue, not so much on my throat, which you normally get with Reapers. It's mostly on the front of my tongue and my tongue. So, very, very flavorful. My scale is probably a 2. My scale is probably a 2. I'm like in good shape right now. Going to meet the UK Chili Queen, so it's a good time for me to have my tolerance up. You know, I think sometimes people think that the tolerance ladder, so to speak, only goes one way. In other words, as your tolerance goes, it goes up higher and higher, and you can't go this way. Not at all the case. If you don't, it's just like anything else, man. If you're somebody who really likes to drink beer, and you drink it all the time, if you went 6 months without drinking a beer, and then you drank 2 beers, you'd be destroyed. You know what I mean? It's like you build a tolerance for it. Very, very tasty, though. Digging it. Yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm really excited. We got one more sleep, and I'm on a plane headed to the Queen. Can't wait for that. Wish you were going to be there, Dunny, cheering me on. Here's the great thing. I want everybody to be, you know, we're going to be tuning in. I think I'm going to have it live streamed from the channel. I'm not sure. I definitely will be putting it on the channel. I know it's going to be live streamed from League of Fire, their site. So you will have an opportunity to see it. So wish you guys could all be with me. It's going to be brutal. Guys, if you're in Australia and you haven't had this, shame on you. Get some of this. You're in Australia. It's easy. It's not that bad for shipping. You little reaper. Listen, if you're in New Zealand, you're somewhere else, lean into the pitch. This is something you need to have. This is really a delicious. You know what? This would be really, really good on a steak too, now that I'm thinking about it. My first thought was just go-to is Italian food. But I think on a really good steak, and I think I have a steak in the house. Maybe I'll cook a steak tonight. And it would be good on a burger. Fond of this sauce. That's all there is to it. So if you guys have never tried any sauces from Australian Extreme Chili Condiments and my friend Rob Dunn, you need to. Dunny's got a great sense of humor. I told this story several times, but it's worth telling real quickly in case you haven't heard it. Flew to Australia. I was with Desiree and Ron Bowser and Dunny, and we went to the coast and we're looking over this amazing. We drove there to look over this cliff. It's just amazing. Very, very pretty. So as we're getting out of the car, it's the four of us. We're getting out of the car, and Dunny was driving, and I was behind him. Now, in Australia, they drive on the right-hand side of the road, or the right-hand side of the steering wheel is on the right of the car. And they drive on the left, where we have the steering on the left, and we drive on the right. All kinds of silly. So anyway, we get there, and we stop, and I'm behind Dunny, and we get out of the car. We're going to go look over this ledge and take some pictures. It was, Johnny, you got to come here, you got to check this out. So I walk out of the car, and under the door sill, you know when you open the door, there's that little sill right there? On the door sill was this huntsman spider. It was a huntsman. That's what you guys call it. Here's the deal, man. Our spiders in America, all the legs look like this, aren't that big? Huntsman's legs, two of them go way out, and it's the strangest looking thing. Listen, it's alien. It's a creepy looking critter. And he goes, Johnny, come here. Look at that. And it was on the door sill, and it was like hanging on. And I walked over to look at it. It was almost like it did one of these and looked at me. I swear to you, it was the creepiest thing you ever saw. It probably didn't do that, but boy, it felt like it. So it hopped off the door, and listen, it was riding the car, okay? It didn't like hop on the car when we got there. This thing was like hanging on when we were driving. So we get there, and it jumped onto the ground, and I grabbed my phone because I want to snag a photo of this little creature. So I got my phone out, and I'm getting down low. I'm getting the phone close to it, but I don't want to get too close to it because it could jump on me and kill me. Now, intellectually, I know it can't, but I thought it could. So I'm getting down low. I'm about that far from the spider to take a picture of it, and Dunny's behind me. And he looks at Desiree. He goes, he reaches down and just touches the back of my leg. In that moment, I was being wrapped up in a cocoon by this giant spider, and I know it wasn't doing that. It wasn't trying to do that. But that's what I felt like. It scared me to death. It was really weird. Have you ever been really so scared that you just tingle everywhere all of a sudden? I can't explain it. Everywhere, my entire body was tingling for just a second. It's crazy. And then and they laughed their skulls off. They thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. So then we started walking down this path, and there was this little branch that was like from a tree, and it rubbed against my arm. I jumped so high. Anyway, it was a very, very funny situation. So thank you, Dunny. I think, if I tell them all the time, if I had like a nickel for every time I've thought about that moment and just giggled to myself in a moment of quiet, that was hilarious. Anyhow, you're a good sauce maker. You little reaper. If you haven't tried any of Rob Dunn's sauces from Australian Extreme Chili Condiment, you don't know what you're missing. Go to the description box. You'll see a link. Get it. If you already have tried it, you know what? By all means, go to the comment section and say so. When I did, I don't know if it was Nutter, one of the sauces I did recently for him, people in America bought it. You guys can buy this in the States. Now, granted, it's going to cost you a little more, but you know what? To me, there's one of the most exciting things as a chili head is trying a sauce I've never tried before. It's really exciting. You get to try it. You learn about a person. You learn about the sauce maker. I don't know. Maybe I just get too into it. I'm pretty into it. Anyhow, get some of this. Tell them Johnny sent you. Check them out at AustralianChiliCondiments.com. You'll see a link, like I said. You'll see a link also for my cool little gimbal. I'm taking my gimbal with me to Europe, to London. The gimbal keeps the camera, doesn't shake all over the place. Amazing. So I'll be bringing my gimbal, give you guys some good live streams. I'm going to try to make a few videos today, so maybe I can upload a couple while I'm there. But I'll try to give you some live feeds, some streaming while I'm there. We'll see. Anyhow, you guys are great. You got to know how much I love you. Right here is our pepper. Click this pepper and become part of the family. If you don't want to miss a video, click the bell for notification, and we'll do just that. Thank you for hanging out with me. Get ready, Queen. I'm coming. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was JC.